You checked your phone again. Not because you expected anything, just out of habit. And for a second, you almost convinced yourself that maybe the notification just didn't come through. But it did. There's nothing there. She stopped replying, and somewhere deep down, you already knew this was coming. You just don't know why. That's the part nobody talks about. Not the silence itself, but the moment right before it, when everything still looked fine on the surface. Because here's the thing about the way interest fades between two people. It rarely announces itself. There's no conversation where she says, "I'm starting to feel less excited about this." It just quietly happens. Like a fire that doesn't go out dramatically, it just runs out of things to burn. And by the time you notice the warmth is gone, it's been cooling for a while. Most guys retrace the last few messages, looking for the mistake. They want a specific moment to point at. But that's not usually how it works. The shift almost never lives in the texts themselves. It lives in what the text started to feel like over time. Think about the early days. Those conversations had a certain pull to them, not because the topics were special, but because there was something unresolved between you, something she hadn't fully figured out yet. That open question, that not quite knowing, is what kept her coming back. And at some point, without either of you planning it, that feeling closed. The open question got answered. And once it did, the urgency to reach out just quietly left. This happens in one of a few ways. Sometimes a guy starts making himself too easy to read too fast. He's always available, always warm, always the one steering the conversation back to life when it starts to slow down. It comes from a good place. He's interested and he's showing it. But from where she's standing, it can feel like the dynamic has already been settled, like there's nothing left to lean into. And that settled feeling, comfortable as it sounds, doesn't hold attention the way uncertainty does. Other times, the conversation itself shifts without anyone noticing. It stops being playful and starts being routine. The same check-ins at the same time of day. Questions that feel like they're keeping things alive rather than actually going anywhere. She starts to feel like she knows exactly what the next message will say before she opens it. And predictability, when it sets in too early, has a way of making even good things feel a little gray. And sometimes, and this one's harder to hear, it's not about what was said at all. It's about what she was sensing underneath the words. Whether you seemed grounded in yourself or whether you seemed like your mood was quietly following hers. Whether you had things going on that she wasn't fully plugged into, or whether she had become the main event in your daily life. Women pick up on that kind of energy faster than most guys realize. Not through logic, just through feel. None of this means you did something unforgivable. Most of these patterns come from genuinely liking someone and not quite knowing how to hold that without gripping it too tight. That's human. But understanding it is the difference between repeating the same experience and actually changing the dynamic next time. Because the version of you that keeps a woman's attention isn't the one who says smarter things or texts at better times. It's the one who has enough going on that the conversation is a good part of his day, not the whole thing. The one who lets things breathe instead of constantly checking if they're still there. The one who makes her feel like she's choosing to reach out, not just responding because the conversation was left open. That shift doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with one honest question. Not what did I do wrong, but who was I being when this started to slip? That's where the real answer lives.